G'day fellas, and welcome to a very interesting time in the Age of Empires universe, because cosmetics have just arrived to Age of Empires. Now, you might be thinking, well, cosmetics, Drongo, we've already got that in the form of things like the town center bell and whatnot, things that replace your monument. Well, this is different. These are paid cosmetics. They're finally coming to Age of Empires, and as far as I'm aware, this is the first time that it's been implemented. I don't think it's happened in Age of Empires 2. I don't think it's been in any other Age of Empires game, other than maybe Age of Empires Online, but look, let's be honest, we'd rather forget that game existed. But anyway, we move forward. So what is it? Well, Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition released, and you've got access to an Explorer unit, and that Explorer unit has got a skin, a custom skin. So here we can see that Lizzie is for free, and then if we continue moving on, we can see that there is an exclusive Japanese Explorer here, and then we continue on, and then they've got a hero cosmetic pack, which costs $5, and you get 25 heroes. Now, you might be wondering, what the heck is a hero? Well, you guys will be familiar with Age of Empires 4 and the Khan in Age of Empires 4 for the Mongols. Well, it's basically the same thing. Every civilization has got a unique explorer, and you can see that little guy right here, standing down here, and this is the default skin, and then you've got new skins depending on whether you've unlocked them. I'm not sure if I can actually view all of these skins. I can only view the one that I've got unlocked. But that's it there. So it's just a change in the skin, a change in the way that the Explorer looks. Now, I've gone ahead and bought all of them because I'm a big fan of this system, and we're going to talk more about that. But here's the French one as an example. And I want to talk a little bit more about this and why I'm such a big fan of this system. And I appreciate, before we get into it, this is a very controversial thing for the developers to do. So let's just start talking about the way that Age of Empires monetizes. So there's a box cost, okay? You pay $30, or at least in Australia, you pay $30. You get access to the Definitive Edition. On top of that, they're constantly releasing DLC. So in this case, Knights of the Mediterranean was their most recent DLC, and that game cost that DLC cost $15. Gives you access to 2 new civilizations. Then on top of that, they give you random DLCs that come in for free, like this one, which is the one that we just saw, the Hero Cosmetic Pack Lizzie, which is an Explorer. It's free, and then you've got the singular purchase, and then you've finally got the group purchase here. So I think the single one costs $1.50 Australian. There we go, and $7.50 Australian. Jeez, I'm getting ripped off, aren't I? I remember reading, what was it, like $4.99? And then 99 cents. Damn Australia, dude. Our currency, it's gone down the absolute shitter. Now, I'm a big fan of this. I love this. Why am I a big fan of this? Because it supports the developers. Now, I want to support the developers in any way I can. I don't even play Age of Empires 3 anymore, but I just bought this because I love the idea and I want to get into this. A lot of successful games are doing this. If you've played League of Legends, if you played Dota 2, if you played CSGO, if you played realistically any big game that's free to play, and that's the key point here, then they're probably going to be doing this. And there's a number of different ways that they can do it. Now, number one is this way, okay? The way that they're currently doing it, where basically you're provided it's like walking into a store and you're like, well, I like a baseball cap, and they say, which one do you like? And you pick to your baseball cap and you choose which one you'd like. I can very much see that being translated over into Age of Empires 4. We already see things like monuments in the game. You've got the Conqueror Kraken, we've got the Diamond Kraken, so already we can see levels to these monuments, and now we've got the gold one as well, so each one represented in a different level of almost rarity, we could say. So I would say that it's very easy for the developers to transfer this over to Age of Empires 4, and one of the other things to note is Age of Empires 3 has been a testing ground for Age of Empires 4 before. There are not only mechanics, but there are actually in-game settings that have been used or tested in Age of Empires 3 to see the reception of them from the community, and then moved over to Age of Empires 4. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that the developers have got on the horizon, but I know it's controversial, but honestly, this is where I want to see the devs going, because for me, when you look at cosmetic packs are a great way for you to support the developers, but at the same time, it's kind of a way for you to flex. Whether you like that or not, that's just the reality of it, because a marketplace exists for these types of things. Now, if you set the cosmetic pack at a price that's quite reasonable, that anybody can afford it, and then everybody can play with their own heroes that they like. So we go into Age of Empires 3, maybe I'm going to play as the Dutch, and I can pick the new cosmetic hero that I've got right here. This is the standard one, and now I change it over to this guy. Okay, it looks pretty similar, not a lot of difference. One's got a hat, one doesn't. But the thing is, if I go and play up against another person who's also playing the Dutch, they're probably going to have the same cosmetic pack because it's so reasonably priced. It's a very affordable $7.50 in Australia. That's not even half of the minimum wage in Australia. So it's a pretty reasonable price there, and that's 25 heroes. I'm pretty sure you probably get a hero for every single civilization. Where I'd come in and be like, well, how about we do something a little bit different? It's a bit more orientated around this. And I know that you're looking at that and going, Drongo, don't even dare. That's a loot box. It's illegal in Belgium and Germany. Look, okay. There's a couple of things that you'd want to make sure. But for anybody who doesn't understand, let's just explain this. Basically, you get this loot box. These things drop throughout the game, or you can buy them or whatever you want. And essentially, you unlock it with a key. You have to pay money for that key. That's a flat amount, $2.50. At least it used to be. I don't know what it is anymore because it's long gone since I played CSGO. And within this case, once you open it, are one of the skins. Now, there could be one of these very basic skins, which are common, and we can see that right here. This is a common skin, so this is called the Galil AR Destroyer. And this gun, 78 cents, 55 cents, and that's Australian. So realistically, it's probably about, 2 American cents, 3 American cents. You get the picture. So you can roll your $2.50 and you get 30 cents. So it's essentially like gambling, okay? And then, you might strike it lucky, and you might actually get one of the rarer. So we can see down here the USPS print stream. Which is, at the moment, there's one here, which is a stat track, which means that it tracks your stats of how many kills that you've got with the weapon, and it's going for $1,191 at the moment. And the reason why is because there's a market for it. If we go and have a look right now at the field-tested USPS, you will see this. People are actively buying and selling these every single day, around $300 Australian. You can see one got sold here for $441. There mustn't have been any on the market at the moment. So it creates a market, and this is just so you guys understand, I'm a socialist. In fact, I'd probably even go close to saying communist. But the reality is we live in a capitalist society, and we got to play by their rules. And so this is part of their rules, because this supports the developers and it creates more content. It incentivizes the developers to create more content when they do this. And besides, it's pretty fun getting to do this. So what would it look like in Age of Empires 4? Well, I've done a little bit of a mock-up here. You can see we've got right now a spearman. That's the standard spear. And there's the gold spear. Not a lot of difference, right? Because when it comes to games, there's different ways that you can implement it. You can go with different skins for different guns, just like they've done in Overwatch, where you can see that we've actually got golden guns. Now, these are unlocked a little bit differently. These are unlocked through progression. Once you've played a certain amount of games, then you get a certain amount of points, and then you can actually unlock a golden weapon, which will stay with your hero throughout the game, irrespective of the skin that you choose. And the actual skin, you can see right here, well, you can choose different ones, and you can get all different sorts, but that is one of the ways that you could do it. So I think that even just something as simple as this would be a reasonable way to go. And then when it comes to rarities or tiers, I think that the way that it currently exists with regard to Conqueror, so you could have effectively a Conqueror rarity, you could have a Diamond rarity, you can have a Platinum rarity, which kind of looks, compare it to the Diamond, and this one's all shiny, and then, the Platinum one, it's kind of like, it looks very well worn, and then you look at the Gold rarity, and the Gold, I mean, you can tell by the stone on the bottom that it's not a Conqueror compared to this one right here. It is a big difference between those two, but we've already got a rarity system within this that could exist. So as an example, you could have a diamond colored spear, or a golden colored spear, or a platinum colored spear, or a conqueror colored spear, and that would be your rarity level, the same way that you had in here, field tested or factory new. That, I guess that's probably where, but maybe within this. So I think that there's a lot of different ways that the devs can do it. I'm curious what your current feedback is. I'm kind of doing market testing here for the devs. I'll be honest with you, they haven't contacted me about it. We haven't had any discussions whatsoever. So this is just me throwing feelers out there. But I want to know what the community thoughts are, not necessarily about these sorts of cases. And can I just say that if ever there was going to be a case, number one, it would need to be that percentages were very clearly stated on the box, because I know that sometimes they don't actually state that, so that would be a big thing for me. But I guess number two, it is also gambling, and maybe that's something that we would want to steer clear of. So I want to know what your thoughts are about this. What do you like the direction that Age of Empires is going with regard to the cosmetics in the current way? And if so, do you feel that it's justified that, you should be paying it's a pretty reasonable price, right? $7.50 for 25 cosmetics. Would that be something that you'd be willing to do in Age of Empires 4? Let me know down below. I'm curious where the community currently sits, and let's have a discussion about this, because I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, and to be honest, I just want to do 100. I want to write off 100 loot boxes for the Australian Taxation Office. That's what I really want to do. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.